Kraken Pod Fam, what the fuck is up? All right, if there's an echo, y'all let me know. Holy shit. Whoo! I'm trying to keep it down because people are sleeping, but oh my fucking God. What a game. 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 What a much needed game. Holy fuck. All right, here we go. Beers for Beniers, whatever y'all are drinking. All right, here we go, baby. All right. I don't even know where the fuck to start, man. I'm so fucking jacked up right now. Let me get on to okay, I gotta pull up my fucking game notes. I can't even think straight. I'm taking off the headphones. Fuck this. All right, dude. Dudes, ladies, everyone. I'm so I'm so fucking jacked up right now. This is the fucking Kraken from last year. This is the fucking Kraken from last year. The good vibes parlay is fucking back. That shit is back. 110%. Jeff is a fucking wizard. I hope people put money on the shit he puts money on because that dude called it to the T. If you don't know what the good vibes parlay only is, Jeff will tweet out his bet of the night, started calling it the good vibes only parlay. He had it was at plus 720. Kraken win over 6.5 goals. Jared McCann anytime score. The man fucking does it. I don't know how Jeff does it. Even when he loses on his bets, he somehow almost always calls the goal scorers. He's a fucking hockey savant. Jeff, I love you. If you watch this tomorrow, don't make it weird. It's not weird if you're friends. Um, dude, the fucking good vibes only uh parlay is back. On top of that, and there's a lot of comments. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Welcome, motherfuckers. This Kraken Pod After Dark. Um, I don't even know where else to start. Oh, you know what? Fuck this. We're gonna go right to the third period. How about Ty fucking Cartier defending his teammate? And granted, not the best fight. He got thrown to the ice pretty early, and Lemieux just kept swinging on him, so it was a little bit lopsided. It's all good. It is what it is. Doesn't fucking matter. This is what we were talking about. This is the principle of everything. This is what we were pissed about after the Colorado game. This is what Jeff, if you listen to the most recent podcast episode, Jeff went off on a fucking tangent about how that is not acceptable because the way that we did not defend Father Canner um, in the game against Colorado, against Kill McCarr, I can't even talk right now, was sends a fucking message to the league that this team is fucking soft. And it was so unacceptable because I mean, we literally said there needs to be an open or a shut door. I can't talk. I'm sorry. There needs to be a closed door meeting with the fucking team, and we need to sit down and look at each other in the eyes and say, "Who the fuck are we?" Because we're 4 games into the season, we're getting our asses handed to us, and we have no pride whatsoever. We're, letting these other teams now, Colorado coming into our barn and kick on our ass. We're not even going to defend our leading goal scorer getting taken out by a very fucking intentional hit on the end of Kill McCarr. And it was just unacceptable. And Jeff went off on a rant. And I was like, dude, I back you 100%, man. Like, this team has to figure it out. And, dude, they fucking figured it out. Like, this is exactly what the team needed to get going back on track. I mean, this is every fucking thing about this game was perfect, minus like the couple of quick goals that Carolina got in there. Whatever shit happens, the 2-on-1, Joey stood no chance. On the second one, he just lost sight of the puck. It is what it is, dude. Pro Joey Pod since day fucking one. All right, let me go over. There's a ton of comments. I love y'all. I'm gonna start getting to them. In a second. Oh, and by the way, Ty Carche, fucking member of the Kraken Pod fam, friend of the fucking podcast. I can't wait to interview him again. It's going to happen. It was such an easy interview. He's such a good dude, and best fucking believe I am going to absolutely bring that up to him because, like, I need to know. Like, y'all need to know. Me and Jeff need to know. I'm like, dude, did you motherfuckers listen to this in the locker room? Did you listen to this on your own? Like, tell me what the deal is because, like, we had to call it out. And I think we did it in a fair way. Like, we love you guys, but at the same point in time, like, let's get your fucking shit together. Like, you can't roll over like that against Colorado. How are you going to respond? How are you going to take this opportunity to flip your fucking season around? Tell me what you are going to do to improve it. Dude, that's exactly what the fucking Kraken did tonight. And dude, for Cartier, which which I already obviously love past the Cartier. But for essentially, I mean, like a rookie to do that against Lemieux and to defend a veteran on the team, can you fucking imagine what it's like in the locker room right now? Dude, the vibes are fucking high. Like, Matty didn't play the best game, but his assist on Cartier's goal was just absolutely fucking unbelievable. Their celly afterwards was just an epic celly. And then on top of that, like for Cartier to fucking drop the mitts and defend and defend a veteran on his team like that, to hop in there and say, hey, you're not, this isn't fucking okay, man. And even if it wasn't the best fight on his end, who gives a shit? It's the fact that he's willing to go there. These are the personalities. These are the types of players that Seattle Kraken fucking need. And that is a reason why no matter what fucking happens, who gets healthy, who comes back or whatever, like Ty Cartier needs to be on this fucking roster because that kid fucking showed that he belonged. We need to keep him on this team for as long as humanly possible because that is the heart and that is the personality that is going to carry over. Again, I can't imagine what the fucking locker room vibes are right now. They have to be so insanely high. First one of the season, everyone's getting goals. The rookie fights Lemieux to defend fucking Canner, which, by the way, what the hell is going on with Canner? Does he have like a target on his jersey? I swear to God, that dude every game is just getting completely fucking lit up. We got to figure that out because we can't have Canner going down like that. But dude, if you're all are just joining us now or joining me now rather, the good vibes only parlay is back. Over 6.5 goals, Kraken to win, Canner to score, plus 720. Jeff fucking tweeted that out. Again, I don't know how he fucking does it. There's a lot of comments coming in. I see y'all talking shit. I love it. Please bring it on. Let me just go over some notes of the game. And again, as always, we can talk about whatever the hell y'all want to talk about. Also, if you like this video or whatever the hell, just give it a thumbs up. All right, cool. Here we go. First goal of the game, Burakovsky, which, by the way, he was really improved too. He was firing on the fucking net, being super aggressive. Yanni, perfect position. 2 Kraken to 1 Kane in front of the net, and Yanni ends up getting the tip in. That was fantastic. That lasted for literally 19 seconds because the Seattle Kraken ended up giving up a goal. It's a tie game. I almost tweeted out hashtag Kraken shit. I held back for a second because I was like, you know what? Like, there's been enough Kraken shit this season. I'm not trying to put those vibes out into the universe. Now we're talking power play. Schwartzy on the power play, strong PP. That's his second power play goal this season, and up until that point, I believe he's the only Kraken with the power play goal. I could be wrong. Someone let me know. Right after that, shorthanded goal. Belmar, which by the way is kind of freaking me out because I realize I kind of look a lot like him. Anyways, that's a whole nother side thing. But dude, let's talk about Belmar for a second. Now, overall, I don't know if I would say he's been overly impressive, but let's talk about the fact that this dude on the penalty kill and him on the face-off is special. And he's the veteran presence that the Kraken needed. And not only is he great on face-offs, but his ability and also like him coaching the younger guys how to be better at face-offs, I just think is an invaluable person to have. I mean, this guy seriously is such an asset to the Seattle Kraken. It's great to see that showing through. And if y'all remember the episode that we did with Piper Shaw, she talked about him being a Kraken fan favorite because not only is he just a great overall dude, but he's got such an awesome personality. Like Belmar is that fucking guy. And I saw a lot of people online today being like, man, I need to know more about Belmar. Yeah, dude. I think Piper Shaw did like a whole I could get to know him behind the scenes kind of a thing. I would highly recommend watching that. The dude is awesome, great personality, great veteran presence, great on the PK, great on the face-off. Moving on. Um, Here we go. Joey Decord, this fucking save. Diving left to right, kicking his right leg out, getting the right pad save on what you could say might be the save of the season. I mean, I feel like that save stopped fucking time. All I could do for 10 minutes after that save was I was just searching Joey Decord on Twitter, trying to find a video of that save with the sound because I don't know why, but I fucking hate when I can't find a video of a player or a highlight or whatever that I want to watch on Twitter, X, whatever the fuck, and for some reason there's no sound to it, like that makes the whole video. So I spent 10 minutes just going down a Joey Decord rabbit hole. Pro Joey podcast. We've been saying that for 2 fucking years. The kid is electric. I mean, we have our 1B goalie, and I'm not saying that to start a whole controversy, debate, whatever you want to call it, between him and Grubauer. The reality is, like, both of them have been playing pretty fucking good, man. And you know what? If Joey is the back of the rest of the season, that we're in a pretty damn good spot, because if these guys can start skating like they did tonight, and our goalies can play like they have been, this team is the team from last year and then some, which is what we have been waiting for and what we knew was possible. And I know it's only, the first win on the season. Again, it's a long season. The schedule isn't the easiest, but I'm telling you right now, like, we've been saying this all during the offseason and then leading up to it. Like, this team has so much fucking potential, man. They know how to get it going. They need to use the momentum from this game to get it going. Moving on from that, Dundertaker, the snipe, another power play goal. This is the second power play goal of the fucking night. Dundertaker, he has a goal and 2 assists tonight. That's 3 points. I believe he's the leading Kraken scorer in points right now, which is just like, of fucking course he is. I mean, this guy, again, is just absolutely unreal. The Dundertaker has not taken any steps back at all, which is saying a lot about him and all the work he puts in, because the guy missed most of camp for like an undisclosed thing he had going on. And then look what he's doing into this season. So, dude, shout out to the Dundertaker. Love him to death. Also, everyone, please just keep tweeting out fucking Dundertaker. That's his fucking nickname. It's sticking. Also, on that goal he had, that was Burakovsky's 200th NHL assist. That was huge for Berkey. Shout out to him. Schwartzy goes to the locker room. That got overlooked for like a split second. He takes a block shot. He heads to the bench. He's not doing too hot. Goes to the locker room. It's probably precautionary, man. He probably had a hell of a stinger. These things happen all the time. Blocking shots is not fun. But shout out to Schwartzy, dude. I mean, between the power play goal, just his overall play. Honestly, Schwartzy's been one of those dudes that has stepped up despite the Kraken like not being on top of their shit so far this season. Like, tonight was a great win, and Schwartzy's one of those dudes. Like, you look to him to solidify the team because you look to the veterans to kind of get things going. Early third period, again, I mentioned this earlier, but 2 goals by Carolina really quickly. And the first one again was on a 2-on-1. And that was just a situation where Joey had no fucking chance. In fact, when he dove, I mean, he fucking dove Superman style. Like, he fucking Superman that hoe. He did that shit cross body. And in my mind, I thought, dude, if Joey were to save that somehow, like, I would probably quite literally fucking spontaneously combust. I mean, it was a ridiculous effort. When they slow-moed it, he had 0 chance. The goal after that, it was just he took his eyes off the puck. Honestly, I think it was the only bad goal that I gave up all game. It is what it is, dude. He's human. But guess what? We have Joey fucking Decord. I mean, look how good he was last year with Coachella, and now he's doing it for the Seattle Kraken. Father Canner answers the fucking bell. Father Canner gets the goal. The good vibes parlay is fucking fully hitting. We're hitting on all that, even though Jeff fucking lied. He did not come over today and pick up the mug, so I will be texting him first thing in the morning. But Father Canner, he gets the goal. Jeff somehow does it again. I don't know how the fuck he does this. It's so impressive. And then right after that, Canner blocks a shot. He's down on the ice a little bit, and Lemieux fucking trucks him. I mean, Canner gets just completely blown up. It looked like a play by Bobby Wagner, just rolling over somebody in the middle of the field. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Curtis Scobie really quick. Yams has been great, dude. Yams has been awesome. I talked about him on the last Kraken Pod After Dark. This is a fucking pro Yams pod. I fucking love that kid. I love his tenacity. I love the way that he fights for everything. I love that he's, a lot of times the smallest guy out on the ice, and he doesn't give a fuck. The Spokane native doesn't play around. But anyways, Canner just gets completely bulldozed. In defense of Lemieux, I don't think it was intentional whatsoever, which is why he didn't get 5, why he got 2. I did think that was appropriate. But yeah, Canner just gets completely fucking trucked. And it looked like Lemieux was trying to avoid him. He's like, maybe I can try to jump over him. He got 4 inches off the ice, and then it happened. It is what it is. And then here's the fucking play of the night. Here it is for me. And I've already talked about it, but I got to talk about it again. Ty fucking Cartier defending his fucking teammate, defending Jared McCann, dropping the gloves. And again, someone's got to teach these boys how to fight. They need to bring in like fucking Manny Pacquiao to the locker room and like start figuring some shit out. But I mean, that doesn't matter. Also, it was kind of weird because he swung and then Lemieux put him on the ground and then kept hitting him. I'm like, well, isn't there whatever? It's not about that. It's just the fact that he went there. He took it to the level like, you're not going to fuck with us. You're not going to fuck with Jared McCann, who keeps getting lit up. And I don't care that I'm a rookie and you're Lemieux. I'm coming fucking after you, man. Like, I'm coming after you so you know that you can't do this to our fucking guys, intentional or not. And this is exactly what we were talking about on this week's fucking podcast episode. This is what you need to do. And Jeff made the video, and I love him for doing it. I'm glad that he did, because if I just took a video from the podcast episode that we recorded yesterday, it would probably get pulled from the internet in 2 seconds, because that dude dropped so many fuck this and all that, which I mean, I loved it, but like Jeff never goes to that level. Like everyone here knows that Jeff is fucking Jeff Lasso. So when, I mean, he called me, just like a little bit behind the scenes, he called me before the podcast and legitimately on the phone, he was pissed off. And he's like, Joey, we need to fucking talk. And I was joking around because I was like, oh shit, ha ha ha. And he was like, no, I'm serious. I'm really mad. And I didn't get a chance to watch the full game. I was in Michigan for this family emergency, but I'm telling you right now, I'm legitimately pissed. And you and I need to talk about the Avalanche. And I need to get into it because I got to say some stuff. And then I just let him fucking cook. I mean, Jeff was doing his thing. And this is exactly what we wanted from the team. I can't wait to talk to Ty Cartier again. I need to reach back out to Kraken PR and be like, yo, what's the deal? How does the All-Star break look? We'll figure something out. I know, Sergeant Pickles, there's no excuse. I guarantee for Jeff not being here. It's a little after midnight over here. He's definitely passed out. I don't think he also has like a room in his house that he can go to where he wouldn't wake up his wife and kids. So, we're gonna figure this out. I told him that if he wants to cover Kraken Pod after dark when the team is on the East Coast, that way he can at least do this at like 8 or 9 and not midnight, because it's just not reasonable for him. Honestly, it's not reasonable for me. If you see these fucking dark circles, it's because I get up early. And a lot of times I'm covering these games, and now we're doing Kraken Pod after dark. I'm not in bed until 2:30 in the morning. So it is what it is. We're going to do this as much as we can, as long as it's sustainable. If there gets to a point where I start to crash, I might have to take a game off or two. Anyways, moving on. Cartier defending his teammate. Bjorkstrand gets the empty netter, and the Kraken end up winning the game 7-3. I mean, they had scored 3 goals all season, 4 games, but 3 goals in 4 games. They matched that total by the end of the first period, and they ended up putting 7 tonight. And I saw some people talking about that, being like, hey, this is kind of crazy. Like, I can't believe, the Kraken put up, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, and then 7. And it's like, well, yeah, you can. You can believe that, because this is what we've been talking about. This is why there's been so much frustration, is because this is not first season, inaugural season Seattle Kraken. This is a proven team that went to the second round of the fucking playoffs last year. Who, yes, there was some subtraction, there were some losses in the offseason, but overall, I think they did pretty fucking okay. I did like some of the additions, and I thought this team is going to be good, and they just haven't gotten it going. And you know what? They really figured out a way to get it going. The Dundertaker, Melissa, you're right, is fucking back. I mean, someone can look this up. I'm 99% sure he's the leading point scorer for the Kraken right now. He had 3 tonight. I mean, the dude is just on one. He would have had an extra point if Binnington didn't flop, in the game against St. Louis. So, people don't forget. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Just an absolutely unbelievable game. And it's not just a game that the Seattle Kraken needed. Um, and again, this goes back to everything me and Jeff are talking about. Close the door, have a serious conversation with the team, figure out your fucking lines, figure out your identity, actually give a shit, and go out there and skate like you give a shit. Oh, and you know what? When someone fucks with your teammate, do yourself a favor and grow a fucking pair, for lack of a better term, and go in there and do something about it to show these teams that you can't fuck with the Seattle Kraken. Because if you roll over like you did against the Avalanche, you're toast for the season. And Jeff even said, if the boys don't respond, I don't know how I feel about them all season. Next fucking game they came out and they did exactly what would needed to be done. And I'm so freaking pumped, man. I mean, it's kind of crazy to talk about these things on the podcast and then to literally see it be reflected in the game. But I mean, it is what it is. Uh, the Kraken needed to get these things done. But again, my original point was this wasn't just a game this Seattle Kraken needed. This is a game that the fans needed because I don't give a shit that it's early in the season. 0-3-1. It's not a good look. We're realistic, 82 games, but it was the manner in which they were losing these games where we were just like, what the hell is going on? I mean, we legitimately, I don't know if I speak for everybody here, but God damn it. Michael just asked me what is icing. I'm logging off for the night. Um, um, it's not just the way in which they were losing. That's fucking hilarious. It's not just the way that they were losing. Uh, it's the fact that not only like we could not identify with this team as we were watching the product on the ice. I don't know about how everyone here feels. Please, by all means, like leave your comments. I'm going to get to them in a second. I apologize. I just need to get these notes out of my fucking head. But I just, I'm just looking at this team and being like, who are you? Because I don't like. It's like that scene in Zoolander where he's like looking the puddle and he's like, who am I? But like that was the Seattle Kraken because they had no fucking identity. And I'm watching at home, and people are watching in person and watching at home, and we're looking at this team being like, I don't recognize you. Um, and for all the shit that we've been reading and watching and listening to in the off season and how excited we are in the pipeline and the veterans, the guys are bringing in and this and that. And then for them to come out the way they did, it's like, dude, this isn't you. But like, show us who you are. And that's what happened. Tonight, the Seattle Kraken showed us who the fuck they are. Now, they could go out next game and get their dicks smashed. But you know what? Like, I firmly believe that like this, as early as it is in this season, this is a turning point for this Seattle Kraken because they needed to put their fucking nuts on the table, to sack up, to care. And there were so many things that happened. I'm hitting puberty. Sorry, my voice just cracked. Um, but tonight, like Sergeant Pickles just said, they put it all together, right? I mean, there's a couple of lapses, like the two quick goals in the third period, whatever. It's overall that's fine. And you know what? You know who doesn't care about that right now? Dave Haxtell. I fucking promise you, he's not in the locker room on these boys about that brief moment during the game. I can guarantee that what's happening is there's a fucking circle jerk around Ty Cartier right now, as there should be. And I mean that in like the most most respect because like this guy deserves all the fucking props for that rookie to drop the gloves. I don't care how that fight turned out. Like he is now their fucking boy. Tonight was the moment that Ty Cartier, it's like, dude, you're in the fucking league. Like, obviously, we know what he did last year against Colorado in the playoffs, and that was a moment. But this was a completely different set of circumstances where it's like Ty Cartier is here, man, and he's here, and he's our fucking boy, and he has our back. And if a rookie is going to do that, to someone else to defend a veteran, then he can look around the locker room and say, no one else here has any excuses for this to happen ever again, period. That that moment in the game sent a message to the entire team. And Ty Cartier is one of us, like one of us, one of us. So I just, I love the kid, man. I can't wait. I'm so happy we got to talk to him on the podcast over the summer. I can't wait to talk to him again. Um, TC just shared that Cartier got the Davy Jones hat. See, that's what I'm fucking talking about. I'm not even watching this shit. I'm telling you right now, that's exactly what's going on in the locker room. He got the Davy Jones hat because as good as a game all around as it was for the majority, if not everybody on the team tonight was his moment. This was his fucking moment, and I don't. Here's the thing, and this is and again, this is a very brief conversation. I think we talked to Ty for 30 to 40 minutes. But I got a pretty good just an idea of who he is as a person. And I don't think for a second that he would have viewed this as this is my moment type of thing. I just think he is that dude. And I think he's that guy that he was just doing what he thought was the right thing, and that was the hockey thing to do. And that's what I fucking love about the kid because in it's rooted in selflessness behavior. It's not rooted in him trying to do something for himself or, put himself in a place in the locker room, so when Turbo comes back, he might no, he doesn't think about that shit. Ty Cartier goes out there and does what Ty Cartier needs to do. It's why he went from fucking undrafted to getting a call from Ronnie Francis to AHL fucking rookie of the year for Coachella Valley. And then it's why he gets put on the roster for the Seattle Kraken. Because all Ty Cartier does is work his ass off and do the right thing. And when you do stuff like that, you are going to be put in a position like tonight where you're constantly working hard and you're constantly doing the right thing. And look how it's paying off. And now he is that fucking guy. Like, he is ours now. Like, the number of people I saw saying tonight on Twitter, again, X, whatever you want to call it, who are like, I'm buying a Cartier jersey, buy it now. Because I guarantee those prices are going up. And like, Ty Cartier is ours. Ours, ours, ours. And Curtis, you're absolutely right. Piper said that Cartier is wise beyond his years. He absolutely is. I mean, even talking to him, I was like, I mean, I'm a fucking, I'm a basically a 12-year-old. Jeff is like pushing 15. And we're talking to Ty Cartier. I'm like, this guy's way more mature than both of us combined. And Jeff is like in his mid 40s. So, all right, give me a second. I'm going to drink some of this beer. By the way, y'all, beers for fucking Beniers. Actually, you know what? I have some fucking extras of these. I might just start shipping them out to random people. But I love y'all. I'm going to take a sip of beer, hydrate by dehydrating. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to start going through comments and questions. So whatever y'all want to talk about, please get them in there. If I miss any of them, I sincerely apologize. Hit like and video, whatever, whatever. So I'll get to everything in a second. And I think I covered all of my notes from the game. I mean, it's kind of hard. Um, it's kind of hard in the moment because like you're watching the game and you get so excited. I'm taking notes either on my phone or on a laptop, and then I take all that stuff into the thing. And then, anyways, it's all good. I don't even know why the fuck I'm telling you all about my process. You're not here to hear about that. What are the fucking Philadelphia 76ers? All right. Let me go through some questions, comments, and all that stuff. I probably can't do this like an hour like I did last time. Um, that was brutal. I didn't get to bed till like 2:30, and then I was up at 7, and I was just toast. All right, here we go. Um, Shout out to Curtis. Curtis said, "Send the merch link, Joey." All right, for everybody that was there for it. And by the way, if you're new to the Kraken Pod Fam, welcome. Um, we're we're growing. This shit's crazy. I mean, this is year 3. We launched this with the start of the organization. But if you're new to it, when we did merch, it was set for a limited time only. Jeff and I are exploring options to potentially work with another partner. There will be more merchandise in the future. I fucking promise you, merch man. I fucking promise you that when that day comes, we will let everybody know. I think we have to re-release some more beers for Veneers t-shirts and koozies, but we're gonna do some really, really, really cool, fun shit, including. We got to do something for the Dundertaker. That's going to happen. All right, here we go. I'm going through comments, questions, and all that shit. And then probably wrapping up after that because I am sweating like a fucking whore in church because I was so pumped up by that game. And now it's a little bit after midnight and I'm just sweating bullets. Anyways, Melissa says, any thoughts for Saturday's game? That's going to be hard. I mean, for Saturday's game, it's too early in the season for me, particularly to look at opponents and try to predict things. Like as people that listen to the podcast know, as we get into like mid to later on in the season, we start we I because Jeff's like fuck stats. He's completely old school hockey, which I love. I'm also a vibes guy, but I also like to geek out over shit. Um, I like to go and break down matchups a little bit. I won't do that until we're a little bit into the season, until I can get a better feel for the teams. If I am going off strictly vibes, I'm liking Saturday for the Kraken because again, tonight is exactly what the fucking Kraken needed. Now, Dave Haxtell and the whole crew and Ronnie Francis, WWRD baby, and Ron We Trust, they need to keep the momentum from tonight going. If I were them, I would legitimately schedule like a team outing for tomorrow. Maybe take a little bit easy on the booze so they don't get go out in Seattle and get too fucked up. But I would find a way to ride the high from tonight into Saturday because if you can harness that, I mean, like, listen, everyone here should know that when it comes to sports, like momentum is a real deal. And everyone that watched the game tonight, which you did if you're here, because that's what we're talking about, everyone that watched the game tonight, like, you felt that shift. You saw the team from last year and then some. You felt the moments where it was different. The power play, Cartier dropping the gloves, the shorty from Belmar, the play from Decord. You even saw Haxtell chopping it up, with the zebras trying to defend his boys. He fucking rarely does that. You saw and felt the momentum shift. Carry that carry that into Saturday however you can. I think Saturday is going to be good. Gerald Fawn says, I'm going to drop a kegs for cart shit. I think that's gold. I love it. I still love the Pass the Cartier, but if you all listen to the episode, I mentioned that song to him, the Busta Rhymes song, Pass the Cavassier, and he was like, I don't know what that is. And I was like, bro, I got to get you on some early 90s hip hop. And he was like, I think I might have to check that out. I'm going to call him out. We're going to talk again. I'm going to be like, so did you listen to Busta Rhymes? And he's going to tell me no because all he does is fucking play hockey. Um, from Rush Anthony, have you ever wanted to play hockey? And if so, what position would you play? Here's my fucking so I've never like it's not that I've like never not wanted to play it, but I don't know, dude. Like I excuse me, beer burps. I grew up in Washington State, and where I grew up at, it was like football, baseball, basketball, and skateboarding. And then there was no, I mean, if anybody is from the Olympia / Lacey area here, shout out to Olympia, Washington. Uh, they understand. There were like ice hockey wasn't a thing. People didn't really play or anything like that. But dude, if I were to play, honestly, and I was much more flexible, I would be goalie because I'm 6'3", 215. So I have the size for it. I'm just but the fucked up part is I'm built like Gumby, but without any of the flexibility. So that's where I would be the worst goalie of all time, but I would be able to fucking take up a big chunk of that neck. So I'm like deceptively big. All right, here we go. Moving on. Kegs for cards, baby. Let's go. Michael Sanchez says we need merch or I will riot near the Capitol for legal reasons. That's fucking hilarious. Um, yeah, we're gonna work on merch. Here's a quick behind the scenes. Um, our focus right now is just it's the podcast, which I know sounds silly. Like, of course you do the fucking. I mean, like, our focus right now is how can we keep improving on the actual podcast, and then also how can we incorporate video and keep producing more content without completely burning ourselves out. It's still just me and Jeff. The video component is really hard, um, but when all is said and done and finalized, we are going to have a legitimate setup with like actual cameras and fucking real light, real time editing, all that shit. So full episodes can be out on video. We're already starting to do that now. Obviously, there's the YouTube and all that shit. Y'all are here. And then we're going to start chopping up clips from those episodes. They'll be high quality all over social media and all that stuff. Once we get that figured out, which is a process, it's going to take some time, and we honestly need resources and people. Once we do that, then we can pivot on to other things. But if we try doing more than one thing at once right now, like we're fucked. And so our focus right now is just growing the podcast. So I appreciate you guys. Holy shit, Melissa, your brother went to Timberline and Lacey. No offense, but me and your brother, man, we're fucking rivals. North Thurston, go Rams. Fucking Timberline. One of my sisters went there actually. Uh, to Josh Schilling, his question was, have you heard any real news on Tanev? No, we have not. And yes, we have at the same time. And I say that because hockey, it's not like the NFL, right? Like you're not going to get like, oh, this report came out and this guy's in the locker room and he has fucking 7 pieces of tape on his right knee. Like we got all the information that we're ever probably going to know about Turbo until he's back. And then that is when they'll tell us what the injury is. He's out 4 to 6 weeks, lower body industry. Real ones know what I'm talking about. Um, and that is what it is. Around the timeline he comes back is probably when they're going to announce when he actually like what he actually did. All right, Sergeant Pickles, Sumner, Washington checking in. We just smoked Olympian football last week, 40-14. I mean, I didn't go to Olympia. I went to North Thurston, but yeah, it's pretty brutal. Shout out to Sumner. Um, Oh, from Little JP, this was a good one. Gonna be hard to beat Igor, but I think we can. Dude, that's gonna be awesome. Like just having from a pure hockey standpoint, and it's gonna be rough, but just having Igor fucking Shesterkin at Climate Pledge, like for everybody that can be there for that, like I hope you realize what an epic matchup that is and how lucky you are to be able to witness that in person. And you know what? Again, if the Kraken can take the energy from tonight and take it into Saturday and beat Igor Shesterkin, our fucking vibes are going to go to a level. Me and Jeff will be just unbearably we're going to go fucking completely unhinged. So I hope that happens. Again, more merch questions. We're working on it. We'll get there. Just let us focus on the podcast because right now we want to bring y'all as much content as humanly fucking possible. It's just a matter of man hours, and there's not enough hours in the day. Thoughts for Saturday's game, went over that. Kegs for carts, absolutely love it. Oh, Sean Bellman, shout out to Sean. So according to ESPN, every forward had at least 1 point tonight. That's huge. I mean, but listen, that's what I said last year when I was talking about the playoffs, and I said Kraken will win in 7 against Colorado. And when we did the podcast with the boys from Tell It As It Is, they were like, "Why do you think that?" And I was just like, "Because death by 1,000 paper cuts. That is how this team fucking rolls, and that's how the team rolled tonight, and that's how they end up putting up 7 goals." Jared Edge says, last season I got to see Toronto and that was cool, but we got smoked. Dude, I feel you. If y'all remember that episode where I went to my first NHL game, I was in New York in the Garden, and I saw it was the Rangers versus the Leafs, and the Rangers had an epic comeback. And I was drinking triple vodkas until I blacked out, and it was such an epic night from what I was told. Gerald Fawn, shout out to Gerald, man. He says the gourd line was lethal. Dude, the gourd line is fucking filthy. Filthy, 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 filthy. And I really like the moves that Hack made, man. Like the team made some adjustments. Did y'all see Hack talking to the Zebras, fighting for his guys? I'm just saying, like, the team stepped it up tonight, but so did Hack. And it's just like I talked about on the episode this week. It starts from the top down. Everyone needs to take accountability, and it feels like they really did. Now, if they lose on Saturday, no one start trying to burn the fucking house down. It's a long season. From Sean Bellman, Ty was moved up to the top line in part to help get Natty going, and it worked. I mean, look at the assist from Beniers on the play where there was no call on a high stick. Absolutely brutal. TC, that's a great point. He said, we also started cold in 2022, 2023. We had 1 win and 4 losses. We were 1-4, and the win that we had was in game 2. And here's the thing. Winning solves everything, right? So when you look back on that season, and I'm so fucking pumped you brought that up. So thank you for that. When you look back on the season, what did we think about? Damn, deep playoff run. Shit, we went second round, blow for blow with Dallas. Look how good we did without Burakovsky, without Canner. Look how Ty Cartier came in and stepped up for us. No one's going, man, they were 1-4. Like, but that's the thing. And that's when things get frustrating like they have been until tonight, where obviously the vibes are fucking high, the vibes are doing good. But when things get frustrating, like that's the kind of stuff that you have to think about. Like zoom out and look at, and it's hard to do in the moment. But try to zoom out and look at like the big picture of everything, because when you do and you believe in this team, like it'll be okay. Yeah, Sergeant Pickle says Cartier was AHL Rookie of the Year. It shouldn't be surprising, but it somehow still is. Dude, it was weird talking to him. Because at one point, me and Jeff were like, dude, we're fans of you. And his literal response was, ha, 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 that's awesome. Like he just, again, I honestly don't think that he tries to go out there for any accolades or anything like that. The kid just works his fucking he grinds and grinds and grinds and grinds. I mean, Ty Karche is uh on that McDavid plan. You know what I'm saying? Where like all he gives is he eats, sleeps, lives, and breathes hockey. A lot of players talk it, and then there's the people that actually do it, and it shows. Because again, his career is nothing short of amazing. And I think he's just getting started. I mean, I am this kid's future is fucking next level. We should look up. Someone should look up what the odds are for Ty Karche Rookie of the Year. We should look up. Fear the deep, baby. Shout out to Melissa for that. Sergeant Pickles has a flight. Later, brother. I appreciate you. Thanks for stopping in as always. Um, oh, that's awesome. Melissa's gonna go see the team in Chicago in November. November is my birthday. It's my birthday in a couple of weeks. I'm pumped. That's gonna be awesome. And also, I agree, little JP. I think Karche for Rookie of the Year is a dark horse pick. You know what? I don't think throwing down a couple dollars on that is too crazy of a bet. I might fuck around and do that tomorrow. Um, I think it's really, really cool. Uh, Chicago, I just love that city. Melissa, to your point about going there to watch a game, I I hate to admit this, but between like the ties with the Seattle Thunderbirds and obviously Bedard going there, Donato being there, it's kind of listen. They're a trash organization. It's forever fuck the Blackhawks. If they're on the TV and the Kraken aren't playing, I might watch for a little bit. I'm just saying, like, you know, I can admit that. It's all good. All right, I'm going through some more comments and questions here, guys, and then I got to call it night because, whew, yeah, it's gonna be. I need to get my sleep. Oh, from Sean, this is a great point. He said, "This is exactly," and he's referring to the moment with Cartier, which I really think so far was a very early. I mean, like, I think at the end of this season, when we look back on it, depending on how things shape out, I wouldn't be surprised if Cartier having his moment tonight was will not I will be surprised if that is not a moment that sticks out to us for the rest of the season. I mean, that really was something special. I mean, when it was happening, I was like, this is and I think everyone in that moment realized it too, and the team realized it. And that's why he got the fucking Davy Jones hat because they did realize it. But Deshaun's comment here, he said, this is exactly what Jeff was calling for when he lost his mind on the podcast, which he did. All I know is that it worked, and I absolutely love Ty Cartier. I love him to death. It absolutely worked. I mean, listen, I don't know if these dudes are listening, but we're just doing our thing. So if they are great, if not, it is what it is. Um, I love y'all. I think that's it for the night. I'm sorry. I mean, this has been 42 minutes long. It feels like I've been on here for 5. Oh, from Ty Jacobs. Here we go. Oh shit. So okay, here's my ADD. You can bet right now for Ty Karche, Rookie of the Year, it's plus 5,500. You can bet right now. I'm gonna throw some money on that tomorrow. Plus 5,500, dude. How fucking funny would that be? All of us can buy a house because Ty Karche goes ham in 2023, 2024. Can you imagine that shit? Oh, the hockey world would hate us. Plus 5,500 Ty Karche Rookie of the Year. Fuck around and find out, DraftKings. From Ty Jacobs, Maddie impressed me too. It's so hard to have 2 shit periods and still keep your head in it. In the third, he was solid tenacity. Dude, you should be a fucking commenter, man. You should start a podcast. No, but for real, that's a great point. He played like trash for most of the game. I mean, he had what? 3, I want to say it was 3 turnovers like directly in front of Decord, like deep in his own zone that could have easily turned into goals. And even Edzo was like, "What is going on, with Beniers right now, man? He's making some serious mistakes." But for him to turn things around and to really keep skating like that, and for him to get that play, that setup, and by the way, that play was great because he didn't quit on it, right? Like there was a clear high stick. I feel like it's a normal reaction for players to kind of look for a whistle or look for something to happen. But Matty just pushed the puck up the ice and he finds Karchi on a beautiful pass. And then he was just as, if not more, excited to celebrate with him, which shows how much of a fucking awesome teammate he has. But I won't lie, when he came out for warmups and I saw that he shaved his face, I was a little worried because I don't need baby face Maddie. I need scruffy. I might drop 3 goals on you tonight, Maddie. That's the Maddie Beniers that I love. That's the Maddie Beniers I need in my life. Um, so yeah, but I am impressed, man. I mean, he's a pro. I mean, he's 20 years old, and for him to hang in there like that and keep grinding and grinding and grinding, and I also think that that's something that will be brought up from Haxtell to him as he continues to coach him throughout his career. Oh, and I mean, Ron Francis can have that conversation with him. Shit. Um, I think that's it. Little JP, I'll read one last one here, guys, and then I love y'all, but I gotta go. But it says Cartier is so composed on the ice, you would think he's been in the league for years. Again, wise beyond his years. I'm sure for the most part, people here have listened to the episode where we interviewed Ty Cartier. If you haven't, I please go back and listen to it. I'm not trying to fucking gas ourselves up. I just think like it was one of the first times that like he's a guy that I've been trying to get to know for a little while now, and there just wasn't a lot of information out there. I think it was strategic for the Seattle Kraken PR to hook us up, me and Jeff, with having a conversation with him for that reason. Especially in this position in his career where he's like AHL Rookie of the Year, good chance he'll be on the Crack. And it's like, okay, now let's take advantage of some mediums and get him out there in the public eye a little bit. I totally understand where they're coming from. But it was my first time. I mean, like, obviously we got a chance to talk to him, but it was my first time really being like, oh, okay, I'm starting to get a feel for this kid, like I am. And so if you haven't listened to that interview, go back and do it. And if you need a refresher, go back and listen to it. Like I might listen to it tonight, like as I'm laying down, like a fucking psychopath. Um, just because he's such a good dude, and I'm still writing. Like, and that's the hard part. Like, how does one sleep after a game like this? I really don't. Man, like the vibes are so high, and it's crazy too because like I'll be honest, going into a game where it's a 9:30 puck drop, I'm struggling. I mean, like I was watching the game laying down, taking notes on my phone. By the end of the third period, I'm like I'm like pacing around my living room like I'm on fucking coke. I mean, it's an issue. I can't stop. So, anyways, I love y'all. That's all I have for tonight. Again, it's been 46 minutes. I was only gonna do 30. Um, I'm gonna take some sort of a sleeping aid, throw on a sleep mask like a fucking grandpa and go and passed out. I love you all. Kraken Pod Fam. Please get some sleep. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in. Every time I do this, more and more people are in it. I think that's awesome. It's not about that. It's about connecting with everybody, but spreading the word doesn't help either. So I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Saturday. Oh, by the way, Saturday, sorry to end it with some bad news. There will be no Kraken Pod after dark. I actually will be at a Halloween party. I'm sorry. Sometimes shit happens, but we'll be covering the game. Unless Jeff wants to do it, I'll try to talk Jeff into it. You guys want to tweet at Jeff and make him do it, bully him into it. But love y'all, Kraken Pod fam. You guys are great. And as always, even though he hasn't scored yet and I haven't been able to do it yet, here's for Beniers. Always release the fucking Kraken, man. The boys are back. This is exactly what Jeff and I talked about. And now we're riding high into Saturday. So see y'all then.